This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Carville for a 2v2v2. And we're going to be kicking it off in the top right-hand corner with the blue allied player. This is X on your head. And as you can already see from this orange Soviet Wait, he's also stealing the refinery location. Okay, this is an interesting opening. We'll see where it goes. But as the orange Soviet player, their teammate, this is Surime? Surime? I actually don't know. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, splitting the island between them. We'll see if that's a good idea. This is Zorminator, their teammate as the red allies. This is Civ Fanatic. Meanwhile, on the south edge of the map, playing as the yellow, this is War Server. He's got that Empire. And his teammate, maybe a Smurf, maybe someone that we know, but the green allies in the bottom left-hand corner, this is Abel. All right, I'll be honest, some of these names are spelled a little bit differently, but I'm just going to pronounce them the way I want to pronounce them, and I'm really curious what surmise... Oh, this is also a crates game. So, you know, maybe a little bit of goofiness will be coming out from these crates, but I think it'll be pretty normal overall. Anyways, Surime going to be taking this refinery. This is potentially a fast 3 refinery from the Soviet player, but no, it's actually not. It's just a normal 2 refineries, but with a bunch of infantry. I don't know what the plan is here. X on your head apparently said, I'm going to expand out to the left. Go ahead and take my in-base expansion for an extra safety expansion for you. And yeah, it is going to be 3 refineries relatively quickly. And I guess this is just an extra safe refinery for the Soviet player. And then the Allied player is going to try and take either these expansions down there on the low ground or these expansions up on the high ground. And yeah, we'll just see. Okay, engineer's going to jump inside of the building until the dog can be dealt with. This engineer, I assume, is headed for this oil derrick way over there. Tengu going to be getting tagged a little bit by that multi-gunner turret. Now on the south side, this is War Server and Abel on the very southern edge of the map. So War Server, you know, I'm not sure how he does in 1v1s, but he's a pretty formidable opponent in these team games. He typically does pretty well in these team games. So we'll see if Surime is able to take him on in a 1v1. It is Empire versus Soviets down there, and it does look like a little bit of harassment coming in from the middle of the map to the outer edges. Does mean that there's a bit of harassment that X on your head is going to have to deal with. Loses the Javelin Soldier as well, a bit unfortunate for X on your head. Fresh Refinery is up and running, but keep in mind, X on your head has been doing this all with 1 refinery up to a couple of moments ago. And I guess this is one of those games where the total resources gathered is going to be very important as we head forward. Already Civ Fanatic going to be spreading out quite a bit, and his total resources gathered dwarfing even 3x what X on your head currently has. But of course, his teammate is helping to make that make up that difference. Harassment coming in. War Server going to be now turning his guns towards the middle of the map. Decides to let the orange Soviet player live for a moment or two longer, and instead the guns turn towards the middle of the map. X on your head may have his own troubles to deal with. We'll see if his expansions are actually going to stay online or if they're just going to be getting poked and prodded from the high ground. Oh, multi-gunner turret kills off the Javelin Soldier. So actually, yeah, this Harvester and Refinery is completely safe for now. I mean, it may be harassed in the future, but for right now, it is completely safe. MCV from Abel does try to escape to the high ground quickly by utilizing that shrink, but does get caught by Civ Fanatic. A Civilization Fanatic going to be playing Red Alert 3. Very different styles of strategy games, but hey, you know, you're allowed to like more than one thing. Power plant's getting targeted down. War Server has his own problems to worry about, but he's not even concerned about this army. He's got his entire Tengu force just harassing the middle of the map. Not even hitting X on your head in the north. He's just running around the middle of the map. And oh no, Abel is about to lose his Tier 2 MCV. This is a bit of a surprise that this just goes down almost without a fight here. X on your head going to be showing up almost accidentally saving Abel, but no, Abel's MCV does go down, and Abel now kind of caught in the corner, going to be getting sandwiched perhaps by Civ Fanatic, who has taken over a bunch of these buildings in the middle of the left side. Heroic Riptide versus two non-heroic Riptides. Well, when you add the Dolphins in there, it becomes a much easier equation for the heroic Riptide to win. Tengus are here for Zorminator, going to be searching the map for weakness, for areas that they can attack. And it seems like the bottom right-hand corner of the map, which was kind of geared up to be maybe the most explosive quadrant of the map, has cooled down. And the top left-hand corner of the map is going to be taking a lot of the attention away from that bottom right side. Tesla Coil getting added on. This is plenty of Tengus. If there is no additional defense, the Tesla Coil may be done for before it actually gets up and running. A couple of Dolphins also going to be showing up to help out in this fight. And, well, Satellites might be able to catch a couple of these Tengus if they decide to stick around. Does look like that Tesla Coil will go down regardless. Akula Sub needs to fire off its Ultra Torpedoes just to end this battle a little bit more quickly. We'll be able to take down that Riptide. No! Barely the Riptide does survive. The Riptide getting an extra couple of shots in here. That Riptide could have been eliminated, but got an extra couple of shots against that Akula Sub. Able to do that extra bonus damage as well. And for now, this Riptide... Okay, that Riptide going to be safe for now. Tengu's moving out across the middle of the map. Cryocopters are here from Abel. He used them to shrink down his MCV earlier, but they have not been doing too much the rest of this game. Tengus versus Apollos, as War Server and Abel will be able to clean up the majority of the Tengus from Zorminator before the Hydrofoil and the Striker VXs show up to save the day. Money Crate is here, but killing the Striker is the more important target. Well, maybe not, as the Striker attack is actually called off. And the Tengus do go for that crate. The attack from War Server is going to do a little bit of damage, but maybe not as much as he was hoping. Oh, at some point, I didn't even realize X on your head has been defeated. I wasn't even paying attention, which does mean Surprise, is going to be the now combo allied Soviet player on the right side. He's got that superpower of double tech trees to worry about. And actually, suddenly, okay, so X on your head had 10 grand total resources gathered. So I guess Surime is kind of at like 60 grand or 65 grand total resources gathered. As he gets control of both players, basically. And, well, currently that does put him in the lead over any other player, but not necessarily over any other team. Civ Fanatic really doing a lot to help out the red-purple combo team. Zorminator will be able to clean up most of Abel's forces. Maybe the Vindicator does escape, but everything else pretty much goes down. Even the Cryocopter and the Harvester and the Refinery both survive. Civ Fanatic looking to crush Abel once and for all. War Server putting up a good fight, but Abel kind of falling flat in a number of attempts to step out onto the map, losing his MCV pretty early on, having to rebuild from that. And actually, I just realized Abel probably never did have a war factory. And of course, now Abel has been defeated, so War Server is now on his own. It's going to be a 1v2v1. As Surime and War Server are going to have to fight against the double island team of Zorminator and Civ Fanatic. Most players doing a pretty good job of spending their cash. Surime, he's a little bit floaty, but that's somewhat understandable considering that he was suddenly gifted a number of extra refineries, possibly a bit of a cash bank as well, but he really needs to get his spending, I guess, out of control. He needs to start spending. Oh, no. Oh, no. If this just turns into Twin Blades the movie, I don't know. I've seen so many of those games in the last 3 years. I just feel like I don't need to see any more. MCV didn't get caught by the magnetic harpoon. That's a little bit unfortunate for Surime, who could have gotten perhaps a free kill on that MCV by catching it with an APOC tank. It looks like Tengu's going to be coming out here from War Server, but the Strikers are going to be the thing that actually gets the kill. Mass Tengu numbers here from War Server. He needs to clean up that Apollo. Unfortunately, his Strikers were grouped in with the Tengus and didn't start attacking the Apollo for a couple of extra seconds. War Server striking every production facility that he can, and he will be able to clean up these Apollos. Once the Apollos are down, it may actually make more sense to transform those units. And Surime and War Server might actually be kind of forming their own 2v2 team. They've been in close contact in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, but they have not been fighting each other. They have a bit of a gentleman's agreement. They have a bit of an alliance, and this is kind of a 2v2, but of course the yellow-orange team is not actually grouped together. Cryoshot going to be doing some big damage there as the Strikers will be getting cleaned up by these Tengus. They finally go for the transform. The Apollos and the Tengus are going to be able to clean them up. War Server trying to salvage this from turning into a disaster. So many Empire units going down. War Server falling apart on the active army front. 28 units left, only 9 buildings out on the map, but I imagine he had something close to 40 units a couple of moments ago. Surime, on the other hand, climbing up towards 50 units on the map. Is that all Twin Blades and MiGs? Yes, it does seem like it is. But, you know, to be honest, if I was in his place, I would also be going for Mass Twin Blade, just because that's kind of my skill level. But, and also Twin Blades are really fun to use. I will admit that, you know, I'm not a Twin Blade hater. I'm just not necessarily interested in seeing a ton of Mass Twin Blade games that I've already seen, especially on this map. Refinery going down. Kirov getting a couple of kills here. Multi-gunner turret goes down. Apollo's getting traded out against, and War Server may have taken a lot of damage, but Surime is here to make up the difference, losing units almost as quickly as he is building them. Civ Fanatic building a big, maybe infantry army. I'm not actually sure what his big swell of units is. It does look like it is going to be a large amount of infantry. Maybe also a bunch of Apollos. Last bomb didn't drop, but the Kirov will get a little bit of splash damage. Half of that power plant's health going down. All right, 3 airfields. Maybe it's not enough, but he does still have 13 grand in the bank. But the Kirovs are coming in good numbers. 3 Kirovs, that can do a lot of damage. That could level an entire base as long as it is supported. MiGs and Twin Blades should help those Kirovs be extremely powerful. Oh, okay. So this little red pendant that's reflecting in the water, I saw that, and I was like, is there an Athena cannon up there firing away? But no, it was just a red pendant. Well, that Tier 3 War Factory is going to be safe for now. The Apollo's going to have to find some new targets to fight. Cryoshot fires off Emperor's Rage, allowing these Tengus to target down these super weapons perhaps a bit more quickly than they otherwise would. There is 6 super weapons out on the map, but not for long. As one goes down, the Riptide goes down, the Strikers do transform, and they do start breaking down those walls so the Tengus can actually put some damage out on the board. And, well, Sonic Decimator may not be long for this world, but it looks like this Dreadnought will also get a couple of shots in as well. Again, orange and yellow, they're not a team, but they are a team. They do sort of form a sandwich of the team in the middle, and they are making that sandwich a reality. 2 minutes on the clock for the Psionic Decimator, and it will be the falling Tengus which will get the last bits of damage, which will get the kill here on that Psionic Decimator. He sacrifices his Tengus War Server losing a bunch more Tengus. So many Tengus getting eliminated, but he kills off the Psionic Decimator. And now we have less than 20 seconds until the Iron Curtain. A true suicide run there for War Server's forces. He's like, transform? Are you sure you said that right? There's a bunch of Apollos above us. Oh, yes, I said transform. We'll kill the Psionic Decimator faster if the Apollos kill you. That was a sort of no-win situation for Zorminator, or for Civ Fanatic, I guess. Zorminator actually lost the Psionic Decimator, but I guess it was Civ Fanatic who did most of the killing there. And it's like, well, if you don't kill the Tengus, which War Server has very deliberately positioned in that way, if you don't kill the Tengus, I guess the Tengus will just kill your Apollos and then retransform and go for the kill on the Psionic Decimator the old-fashioned way. So, kind of a no-win situation. Cash can be grabbed. Could also get, you know, a little bit of health bars on these strikers. No, doesn't go for the health bars. Power plant will get targeted. Wave Force Artillery getting 1, maybe 2 free shots here. Might actually, oh! Iron Curtain saves that Dreadnought. And of course, he puts it into the fast-firing mode as well. It's not near any particularly valuable targets. I mean, yeah, he can take a couple of shots at this army. Oh, it does actually get a Tsunami Tank there. And Psionic Decimator rebuilt by Zorminator. War Server has been defeated. Okay, well, it was a fun game. I don't know why War Server quit out. That actually does seem a little bit strange. Like, was he going to win necessarily? No. But I was starting to believe in this unholy alliance, this combo, 1v2v1. I was believing in that. And now it's just in a 1v2 where Suraim has been given a really good setup. He's got 30 grand in the bank, so he definitely needs to start doing something. One option might be just like try and clear out the water as much as possible. You know, probably like 4 naval yards. Just build 4 naval yards and just start clearing out the water. Akula subs, take down all of this stuff. You know, just build so many Akula subs. I guess you'd need you know, some bullfrogs or some MiGs to support those Akula subs, but Wave Force Artillery on the high ground, getting that Emperor's Rage as well. That bonus rate of fire. And I mean, in this case, you're happy to trade the rate of fire for that that extra bit for that loss in mobility. Strikers all go down. A lot of Twin Blades getting eliminated. Apollos are here. The MiGs are not on top of these Twin Blades, so the Apollos do get a couple of free moments of fire. Strikers need to be cleared out. Anything that can kill the Kirovs needs to be cleaned out, and that might actually just be the sacrificial choice that all of these other Soviet units must make. It's sort of like your one job is to get the Kirovs to their destination. Nothing else matters. And the Kirovs probably need to be split off in some different ways so that they're not all headed for the same target. Looks like they are starting to split off. Multi-gunner turret getting some free damage on those Twin Blades, and with 30 grand in the bank, Suraim can easily lose all of these Kirovs and still make a big old army. Javelin soldiers on the ground going to be making this assault a little bit more difficult. Chronosphere is ready to go, but it won't be around in the map for very much longer. Apollos almost all going down, but the MiGs have pretty much been eliminated. The Kirovs clear out that Chronosphere, and they are not waypointed, which means they are just sort of sitting here taking a bit of damage. The Apollos may actually run out of ammo before they get the kill on all of these Kirovs, and unfortunately for Suraim, it is maybe just not enough. MCV going to be going down. He has more than enough to replace that, though, so 1 MCV going down is not the end of the world for this Soviet player, this Soviet allied player. And he does have an Iron Curtain ready to go, but is he going to survive long enough for... Oh! MCV actually survives. Is he going to keep his power online long enough for the Vacuum Imploder to fire off? Kirovs go down. Akula subs now going to be chasing away these aircraft carriers. Yet, Suraim has lost quite a bit, but honestly, that's not that big of a deal. Does lose the super reactor up there. Restarts the ore refinery basically immediately. Needs to restart the harvester as well. Suraim, not very close to losing his power, so, you know, he's kind of got free reign here. All right, Vacuum Imploder is ready. Proton Collider fires off as well. It is going to land in the middle of this base. Gets 2 of the airfield, gets 3 of the airfields, and also gets that Tier 3, gets the Battle Lab. But that's not the end of the world here, as the space cable witnesses the killing of that naval yard. Iron Curtain and Vacuum Imploder both ready to go. Unfortunately, these aircraft carriers are not close enough to each other, but this could actually be a juicy spot for the Vacuum Imploder. He chooses the power plants on the high ground, the airfield as well, trying to force the sell-off there. Will force the low power mode. That was a lot of power plants that did go down, and Civ Fanatic doesn't have a ton of cash in the bank. Dude has, well, I guess $2 grand now that he just lost some production. Akula Subs getting Iron Curtained. Akula Subs going for the kill on everything out on the water. Meanwhile, the high ground is once again being assaulted by these Kirovs. Sonic Decimator getting targeted down, but now the Kirovs are just sitting there useless and just waiting for their next order to be given. Tengu's going to be showing up. They've got Emperor's Rage as well, and the low power mode continues to afflict the Civ Fanatic as Zorminator is saved from any low power mode by the loss of that Psionic Decimator. Bye-bye to the Kirov as it gets targeted down one after the other. The refinery will survive the blast, but I don't know, maybe the harvester went down. Twin Blades getting absolutely chopped to bits, just annihilated by those Tengus, IFVs, and Javs. The island has been held. Civ Fanatic and Zorminator, they're slowly rebuilding. They're somewhat in shambles, but they are still alive. And that Jav is, ooh, not going to get the kill on the Akula Sub. I thought maybe he was going to go heroic. Vacuum Imploder in the middle. Ooh, could be a couple of sentry bombers looking for the kill through the middle of the map. Akula Sub's trying to hunt down these aircraft carriers. Assault destroyers are here as well. 50 grand in the bank for Suraim. Oh, nice! That was actually a good trick there. He completely beat the AI of those sentry bombers who had been told to attack the MCV. So he packs the MCV up, which breaks the attack lock, but then they just go for the refineries instead. So that was actually a pretty neat trick there by Suraim. I don't know how much of that was intentional or if he was just sort of panic packing up that MCV. But either way, the effect is the same, and that was a very nice dodge of those sentry bombers. Suraim, when you got 50 grand in the bank, if you end up losing the 1v2, I was going to say no one could blame you because it is a 1v2, but I don't know. Like, you got 50 grand in the bank. There was definitely an opportunity to do something, to have a heroic game, to have an amazing moment, but it does seem like that moment is passing. Maybe the next Vacuum Imploder, the next Iron Curtain will be able to save this, and certainly Suraim can still rebuild if he's just given a little bit of time. He can build quite literally like any amount of anything that he wants. He has so much cash in the bank that he can go for super expansions. He can go for anything. He can just, you know, expand. Is he about to lose his entire allied tech tree? Not a lot of attempts at trick plays from any of these players, really. It's just sort of right down the middle. There's no sneaky Tanyas. There's no chronospherine units around the map. I think we just lost the allied tech tree on the Suraim side of things. Multi-gunner turret's going to be supporting this expansion. Civ Fanatic has spent his 10 grand bank that he had mere minutes ago, and he is doing it partially by expanding in the south, and good for him. The double multi-gunner turret drop is going to defeat the Tesla coil and will also do some big damage to this refinery. And yeah, you know, Civ Fanatic he was floating, I don't know, 10 grand a minute ago, and he has spent all of that, and he is continuing to spend just huge amounts of cash. He has so many expansions. His rate of income is pretty insane, and he's almost completely caught up in total resources gathered to Surime. MiGs showing up. I feel like Apollos and MiGs are going to be the dominant units on the favorite unit tab at the end of the game. All right, Apollos all do get cleaned up. Oh, not that one. Got an extra kill or two, but Apollos do get cleaned up eventually, and the Tengus will now get blasted, or will blast those MiGs. Tesla Coil is here, which is a nice touch, but also this multi-gunner turret got tagged by that Iron Curtain. A bit unfortunate when that happens, and so the Tesla Coil is just going to have to try and target down things that are killable. MCV getting targeted down. Surime is going to be losing another build queue. I'm sure he's still got another one on... he's got another one in a backup somewhere, but not so much for the current moment. Tesla Coil does go down. MCV will go down. This Harvester, it would be nice if it didn't go down just because it can easily preserve the build radius, but now you have to build another one. Oh, well. Multi-gunner turrets do survive. Vacuum Imploder goes down. Civ Fanatic coming through with the Allied air dominance. Massive damage from those Sentry Bombers for quite a while in this game. He has done some big, big damage. And actually, finally, the trick plays are coming in. He's got a Tanya loaded up as well, but Tanya is going to have to 1v1 this Tesla Coil. Can she get the chain? It looks like she will. The Tesla Coil not able to survive the blast, and Tanya will be able to clean up these buildings one by one. The IFV is going to go for the other buildings in the south. Another super reactor goes down, and there goes the battle lab. A good attempt by Surime, but it just seems like it is too much. The 1v2, he has spent half of his bank. I'm not actually sure what he is spending it on, but he has spent half of his bank, so that is good for him in this case. No Twin Blades, no MiGs to save him, and, well, Surime has been defeated. That is the GG. That is the end of the game as Civ Fanatic and Zorminator, the double island team from the middle of the map, will get the win on this 2v2v2. It was a masked Twin Blade game from one player, but I guess they didn't win with it, so I don't know how to feel about this game, but that will do it for a 2v2v2 on Carville. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert signing out.